Namaste, dear students. Hope all of you are well. Please be at home and be safe and keep your family safe. Actually, in the previous video of states of matter, I have discussed about, you may have seen that I have discussed about the intramolecular forces or van der Waals forces. There are three types of van der Waals forces. First one was dispersion or London forces. Second one was dipole-dipole, and third one was dipole-dipole induced forces. After then, I have informed you about the hydrogen bonding, two types of hydrogen bonding, intramolecular and intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Then I have discussed about the thermal energy, that's kinetic energy. Because of this kinetic energy, when the heat is produced, the thermal energy. And then I have informed you about the gas laws. In the gas laws, I have informed you from the Boyle's law, Charles' law, Gay-Lussac law. One was that was Avogadro's law. So first of all, let me start with Boyle's law. Okay. So our topic is states of matter, lecture 2. Okay. Can you tell me what was Boyle's law? Anyone? Can anybody tell me what was Boyle's law? I hope that everybody know about it. Boyle's law. I informed you also that the pressure is inversely proportional to the volume when temperature is constant. This was Boyle's law, and I have told you that if we remove the proportional, then we put K constant, K into 1 upon V, P is equal to K by V, or K is equal to PV. Right? And from here only I have informed you about the P1 V1 is equal to, means if I talk about P1 by P2 is equal to V2 by V1, right? Is equal to V2 by V1. So this was our Boyle's law. And second, I have informed you about the Charles law. Can anybody tell me what was Charles law? I had informed you about the Charles law, volume and temperature relationship. This was the pressure and volume relationship, and now we have to keep, what constant we have to keep? Can you tell me? Pressure. So what will be the relation of volume and temperature? Means you can say the volume is directly proportional to temperature. As the temperature increases, volume also increases, or volume is directly proportional to temperature, right? Means as the temperature will increase, volume will also increase, right? So you can see this. Can you tell me what will be the equation of this Charles law? I hope all of you can see the board, right? Is it clear coming? Yeah. So now in this equation that I have already taught you, that what was the equation? V2 by V1 is equal to V2 by V1 is equal to, can you tell me? T2 by T1. Since it is inversely proportional, not directly proportional. So volume is directly proportional to temperature. So what we'll write here? V is equal to KT, or V by T is equal to K, right? So V1 by T1 or V2 by V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2, or V2 by V1 is equal to T2 by T2. So this was our second law. And third, I have informed you about the Gay-Lussac law, right? What was Gay-Lussac's law? Can you tell me what was Gay-Lussac's law, everyone? I had already informed you that pressure is directly proportional to temperature. Pressure is directly proportional to temperature, right? Yeah, one more thing, that what will be the constant, I have not written above also and here also. So remember the rest thing which I am not writing, that is the constant. As I have written here, pressure and volume, so your temperature is constant, your temperature and volume, pressure is constant, pressure and temperature, volume is constant. Now tell me, pressure is directly proportional to temperature, so P is equal to KT, so that's why P by T is equal to K, right? P by T is equal to K. So what will be the value? P1 P2 is equal to T1 T2, right? So this was our equation 3. All the three things we have already discussed in the previous video. This is about the Boyle's law, Charles law and Avogadro law. Now the new one was about the Avogadro law, volume and the number of atoms. Avogadro law of volume and the amount of relationship. He has directly told as the volume will increase, the number of amount substance will also increase. This was Avogadro's law. So volume will increase, the number of substance will increase. V is equal to Kn, or V by N is equal to K. Right? So now just suppose pressure, volume, temperature, and again the number of substances. So what we are going to do, we are just collecting all these things together and we are just writing all the laws together. Okay, what we are doing, we are writing all the laws together. So pressure is inversely, volume is inversely proportional to pressure. Here you can write first law, Boyle's law, first one. Okay, just write the so now here you can see volume is, in the Charles law, volume is directly proportional to temperature. Right? Can you see this equation or not? Volume is directly proportional to temperature. This is second equation. And now let's talk about the Gay-Lussac law. Can you tell me what will be the Gay-Lussac law? Is there any relation about when the pressure and temperature both are constant? Then you can see here volume is directly proportional to the amount of substances. So all these three things, when they are directly proportional or inversely proportional because of the volume, so can we write here volume is directly proportional to, here 1 by P into T into N, or you can put this V, P is directly proportional to NT, or PV is directly proportional to NT, and when we remove this proportional, then PV is equal to nRT. Sorry, here NT, not T. And if anybody will ask you what is this R, where R is equal to ideal gas constant. What is this R? R is ideal gas constant. Can I tell you what will be the value of this ideal gas constant? Since we have removed here proportional, you know very well, when we remove proportional, we have to keep any value. So that's why I have kept there. So can you tell me what will be the value of this R? If you want to calculate the final value, I am telling you 8.314 kilojoule per mole. 8.314 joule per kilo per mole. 8.314 kilojoule per mole. So here you can see this was our ideal gas equation. Why I have started with the Charles law or Boyle's law? The main thing was that to make you understand how this PV is equal to nRT came. So first of all, you must understand the concept of this gases law, all the gas laws. Remember all the gas laws. You must have the concept about the gas law and why these gas laws they have done. See, they have just compared by putting pressure, volume and temperature, as I have told you that what are the things which affect the gas. So as I have told you in the previous video only, that pressure, volume, temperature, and in the volume the amount of substances was there that I have left to teach you in the previous video, but in this video I have started with the Boyle's law. So Boyle's law, you have seen that pressure is directly inversely proportional to the volume. Pressure is inversely proportional to the volume, and after that in the Charles law, just see one thing why I have taken here, so to make you clear here, volume is inversely proportional to pressure, and here volume is directly proportional to temperature, and here volume is directly proportional to N. So this was our first equation, this was our second equation, and this was our third equation. Okay, so in these three equations we have taken together and we have just proved that PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to NI. If anybody will ask you what is ideal gas equation, then you can just give an answer that PV is equal to nRT. In this I have tell you one more thing, that standard temperature and pressure will have the same volume at the standard temperature and pressure, means 273 Kelvin temperature and 1 bar pressure is exactly equal to 10 to the power 5 Pascal pressure. These values approximate freezing temperature of water these values approximate freezing temperature of water and atmospheric pressure at the sea level. So at standard temperature, molar volume of an ideal gas or a combinations of ideal gas is 22.7 liter per mole. So that's why you may have seen in the first chapter about that what is 22.4 liter and what is 22.7 liter. Actually many of the students were having doubt also that sir what we do about this. Okay, so now according to this you have to solve some of the numericals and we'll go through it. We'll solve some numericals. If you want to find these values of R, from where the value of R came and what will be the value of R, so you can just take everything according to the volume. Volume is equal to nRT by P. You can see volume is equal to nRT by P. So 22.71 into 10 to the power minus 3 per meter cube, n value 1 mole, T value 273 Kelvin and pressure value 10 to the power 5 Pascal. Means if you want to calculate the value of R, so you can do through this also. Okay, so let's go ahead. After solving this, just remember the ideal gas equation. Why I am telling you this ideal gas equation? Because now we are going to solve some of the numericals of NCERT and after that we will understand what is this PV is equal to nRT. Okay, so Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law and Gay-Lussac law. Remember these things. If you will not remember this thing, then there is nothing in this chapter. So the things which you have to remember in this chapter is pressure, volume, temperature, amount of substances. Now there are some numericals in NCERT, so we'll go through it. What is ideal gas equation? Remember this ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation. How we have put this ideal gas equation? All of you have known? Yes? Compare everything with volume. Volume is inversely proportional to pressure. Volume is directly proportional to temperature. Volume is directly proportional to the amount of substances. Right? So here we have taken volume NT by P, right? So PV directly proportional to NT, so PV is equal to nRT. The R is ideal gas constant, the value of R. If you want to take the value of R, then R is equal to PV by NT, right? Pressure is equal to 10 to the power 5 Pascal, right? Pressure is equal to 10 to the power 5 Pascal, right? And if we take the value of volume, that is 22.7 into 10 to the power minus 3. 22.7 into 10 to the power minus 3 or plus 3. Volume is there, so volume will be in the liters, so that's why here minus 3, okay? N is 1 mole and temperature is, can you tell me? 273 Kelvin. When you calculate everything this, okay? So what will be the value, you know? That is equal to 8.314. 8.314 Pascal. This is Pascal. Yes. And volume is in the meter cube. Volume is in the meter cube per Kelvin per mole. Right? Per Kelvin per mole. So you can also write here 8.314 Pascal meter cube Kelvin inverse mole inverse, right? And if you want to remove this everything, then directly R is equal to the equation of this at the standard temperature pressure, that is 8.20758. 8.20 at the standard temperature pressure. Remember at STP, if you want the value of at STP, R is equal to 8.20578. 8.20578 into 10 to the power 2 per liter, means according to the standard temperature it will be the liter atmospheric per Kelvin per liter atmospheric per Kelvin per mole. So this was at the STP. So this is our ideal gas equation. Okay, what is this ideal gas equation? If you want to solve the question according to this, then how will be the question, you know? Means number of substances and ideal gas constant. Just put nr this side. PV is equal to nRT, right? PV is equal to nRT. So what will be the value? PV by T is equal to nR, right? PV by T is equal to nR. So if there will be the two things, means before and after, then what you will write? Because see, n is not going to change, so here P1 V1 by T1 is equal to nR, and again P2 V2 by T2 is equal to nR, right? Got it or not? Means before and after. Okay, so since both are equal, so that's why these both are equal. So P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. By comparing both the equation, this and this, nR, so P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2, right? So after confirming this equation, this is a combined gas law. What is this? Combined gas law. So we will solve one problem. Now let's start the solving numericals. The first numerical is related to at 25 degrees Celsius and 760 mm of Hg. This is the numerical of 5.3 of this chapter. It is an in-text numerical. See, what is the question? At 25 degrees Celsius and 760 mm of Hg pressure, a gas occupies 600 ml of volume. What will be its pressure at a high where the temperature is 10 degrees Celsius of the volume 640 ml? See here, what the things are given. In the second equation, pressure is not given. In the first equation, pressure is given, right? So first at 25 degrees Celsius means T1 25 degrees Celsius. If you want to convert it to the Kelvin, 25 plus 273 Kelvin. What will the value? Can you tell me? 5 plus 3 8, 7 plus 2 9, 298 Kelvin. This is the value of T1, temperature 1. Second, 760 mm of Hg. 760 mm Hg means you can say that it is pressure, right? Pressure P1 is equal to 760 mm Hg. And third thing in the question is given 600 ml volume. V1 is equal to 600 ml volume. Okay, so this was P1, V1 and T1. Now in the second, what will be its pressure at a height? Means pressure they are telling you P2 is equal to what, right? P2 is equal to what, and the things given are temperature at 10 degrees Celsius. T2 is equal to 10 degrees Celsius means 10 plus 273 Kelvin, that is 283 Kelvin. Okay, and volume is 640 ml. V2 is equal to 640 ml, right? So this is our question, and we know very well that according to the combined gas law, P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. Now you can ask me, sir, where this equation comes from. As I have told you right now only, that PV is equal to nRT, ideal gas equation. So PV by T is equal to nR. When we have taken the first, P1 V1 by T1 was also nR, and P2 V2 by T2 is also equal to nR. So then we have compared P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. So this was known as combined gases law, right? Combined gas law. Now can you find the answer? What will the value of P2? P2 is equal to P1 V1 T2 by P2 V2 T1, right? So just we have to put the values. P1 is 760 V1 is 600, T2 is 283 upon P2 is, P2 we have to find, sorry, then what will be here, we are finding P2, so P1 V1 T2 upon T1 into V2, there will be no T1 into V2, sorry, huh? So T1 value is 298 and V yes, V2 value is 640. So can you multiply, because pressure answer is going to come in Pascal, right, or mmHg, since here it is mmHg, so everything will come in mmHg. So whatever you can do, you can see 0 0 you can cancel, first of all 0 0 cancel, okay. Now 60 and 64, 15 4 ja 60, 16 4 ja 64, okay. Is this going to cut? Okay, do with 4 first of all. 4 1 ja 4, 4 9 ja 36, 190, 4 4 ja 60. It's not going to cut 190 with 4, right? So 190 into 283 by 298 into 4. The right answer is 676. 676.6. 676.6 mmHg. 6 mmHg. Since we are calculating pressure, we have not changed here mmHg with the Pascal, so it is going to remain the same. So what the things you have to learn is, means out of this P1 V1 by T1, P2 V2 by T2. Always remember temperature will be in Kelvin. Temperature will be always in Kelvin, okay. Pressure can be in mmHg also and in Pascal also, okay. So out of these 6 things, pressure, volume, temperature, pressure, volume, temperature, out of these 6 things, if any 5 are given and 6th you want to calculate, so can you calculate or not? Means remember, easily we can calculate, as we have seen here, the P2 value we are going to calculate, so easily we have calculated also. So regarding this video, what I am saying, that if you are learning any topic, especially about this ideal gas equation, then in ideal gas equation, as you have seen, that out of this topic any 5 will be given. So can you calculate the 6th one? Easily you can calculate? Yes? I hope easily you can calculate. So now let's move towards the density and molar mass of the gaseous equation. Now we will move about the density. First of all, remember these things, that if any 5 is given, you can easily calculate the 6th one, right? So now we are moving towards the density and volume relationship. See, density and molar mass of gaseous substances. What was our ideal gas equation? Can you tell me? Ideal gas equation was PV is equal to nRT, right? This was our ideal gas equation. So can we write here V by M is equal to RT by P? Can we write or not? First tell me this. Can we write? Yes or no? Just asking you, can we write these things or not? And Can you replace N by different things? Molarity by molality, molar mass, right? So here I want to just replace this M by, means you can ask me, sir, what you are doing to this V and N, any idea? So I am going to just replace this N through M by M, means here I am going to change this N by V is equal to P by RT. Can we just do opposite? N by V is equal to P by RT. Easily we can do now. Yes, N by V is equal to P by RT. Now instead of N, molar mass and molar volume, you know very well. M by capital M into V. Molar mass, molar volume, P by RT. So now mass into volume. What is the formula? Mass into volume. That is, mass by volume. This is M capital mass by volume. That is density. D by capital M is equal to P by RT. Is equal to P by RT. Can you write this equation or not? Why I have written this equation, you know? If anybody will ask you what is D, D is density. Density is equal to mass by volume. And if anybody will ask you what's about the capital M, on rearranging the equation we get the relationship with calculating the molar mass. Molar mass. What is this? Molar mass. So what will be the value of molar mass? Capital M is equal to dRT by P, where D is equal to density. Where D is equal to density. Have you heard the Dalton's law of partial pressure? The total pressure exerted by the mixture of non-reactive gases is equal to the sum of the partial pressure of individual gases. Means if there are partial pressures, if I talk about that Pn is equal to P1 plus P2 plus Pn, right? So what I was talking about? I was talking about the Dalton's law of partial pressure. The total pressure exerted by the mixture of non-reactive gases is equal to the sum of the partial pressures of individual one. So as Pn or P total you can say here. Just remember here P total I am saying you. The total pressure exerted. So this was given by Dalton. So that's why it's known as Dalton's law of partial pressure also. And have you heard the word about the aqueous tension? Aqueous tension, have you heard? I am telling you. When the gases are generally collected over the water and therefore they are moisture, pressure of dry gas can be calculated by subtracting the water vapor pressure of the water from the total pressure of the moisture gas, which contains the water vapors also. Pressure exerted by the saturated water vapor is called pressure exerted by the saturated water vapor is called aqueous tension. So aqueous tension, if anybody will ask you what is aqueous tension, then you can write the pressure of dry gas. The pressure of dry gas is equal to P total minus aqueous tension. Aqueous tension. So as I have right now only said you about the aqueous tension, if anybody will ask you what is aqueous tension, so you can just give them the information about the pressure exerted by saturated water vapor. Pressure exerted by saturated water vapor is called aqueous tension. So that's why here I have given you the formula. The P dry gas is equal to P total minus aqueous tension. Now the partial pressure in the terms of mole fraction. Now if you want to calculate the partial pressure in the terms of mole fraction. So if I just want to tell you that if you want to calculate partial pressure in the terms of mole fraction, partial pressure in the terms of mole fraction, can you tell me what will be the formula? From here you have to calculate. Yes, partial pressure if you will calculate, you will get the value P is equal to nRT by V. Yes, P is equal to nRT by V. Means here you can see P is equal to nRT by V. PV is equal to nRT. So P will be equal to nRT by V. So P1 will be equal to N1 RT by V. P2 is equal to N2 RT by V. P3 is equal to N3 RT by V. So see, these are the partial pressures P1, P2, P3, as you can see. If now I want to calculate total pressure, right? So what will be the pressure? Total pressure, P total is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3. Here it will be. So as you can see here, N1 RT by V plus N2 RT by V plus N3 RT by V. So RT by V, if we take common, then here N1 plus N2 plus N3. So here you can see the P total part, pressure of total pressure, if anyone will ask you. So as you can see here, N1 plus N2 plus N3 RT by V. Now if you want to divide the first pressure by the P total, first pressure by the P total, what we are calculating? Partial pressure in the terms of mole fraction. That's why I am telling you. Now what we will divide? We will divide one by one. Means P1 by P total. If we want to divide P1 by P total. So what will be the value? P1 value is N1 RT by V by P total value is N1 plus N2 plus N3 into RT by V. Right? RT by V cancel, that is equal to N1 upon N1 plus N2 plus N3. So as you can see here, P1 by P total is equal to N1 by N1 plus N2 plus N3. Similarly, if I talk about P2 by P total, it will be N2 by N1 plus N2 plus N3. Similarly, P3 by P3 by P total. So whatever the values you are getting, right? Whatever the values you are getting is N1 by N1 plus N2 plus N3, that will be known as X1. That is called mole fraction of the first gas. What is called? Mole fraction of the first gas. So here N1 by N1 plus N2 plus N3 is equal to X1. So if anyone will ask you what is this X1, this is nothing else. It is the mole fraction of the first gas. Mole fraction of first gas. So what will be the value? P1 by P total is equal to P1 by P total is equal to X1. So P1 is equal to X1 into P total. X1 into P total. So as whatever I have written right now, so that is nothing. It is called mole fraction of the first gas, mole fraction similarly, mole fraction of the second gas, mole fraction of the third gas, mole fraction of the fourth gas. Right? So as you have seen here, that how to calculate the partial pressure in the terms of mole fraction. That is nothing. See, remember, whenever you have learned this equation, ideal gas equation is the main equation. According to this only we are going to follow each and everything. So ideal gas equation must be in your mind. What is the ideal gas equation? From where this equation has came? PV is equal to nRT. What is pressure? What is volume? What is number of substances? What is ideal gas constant? From where does the ideal gas constant got the value? What is temperature? Temperature is measured in Kelvin. Everything this we are going to learn. So first of all, take a screenshot, and after that we are going to move and we are going to solve some of the numericals related this. We are going to solve our first of all NCERT in-text numerical, and after that we will go towards the exercise. So just take a screenshot. And now your question is, a neon dioxygen mixture contains 70.6 dioxygen and 167.5 gram of neon. If the pressure of the mixture of the gases in the cylinder is 25 bar, what is the partial pressure of dioxygen and neon in the mixture? So have you heard the question? Yes, you have heard the question. Now we are going to solve this equation. Yes, the question is, a neon dioxygen, neon is reacting with oxygen, a neon dioxygen mixture contains 76 gram of O2, that is dioxygen, and 16.7 gram of neon. Three things are given. What were the things are given? Mixture containing O2 and Ne. Mixture of NeO2. O2 is 70.6 gram and neon is 167.5 gram. Right? Now pressure is given, P total 25 bar. Now you have to calculate the partial pressure of O2 and Ne. Partial pressure of O2 by Ne. So can you tell me what we'll do? First of all, you have to calculate the number of moles of oxygen. What you have to calculate? The number of moles of oxygen. Number of moles of oxygen. So here given mass is 70.6 and 16 to the 32. So if you divide 70.6 by 32, you will get value 2.21 mole. How much? 2.21 mole. Got it? Number of moles as we have done in the mole concept. Now similarly we are going to calculate the number of moles of neon. The number of moles of neon. Given mass 167.5 gram by, what is the mass, atomic mass of neon, can you tell me? 10 to the 20. So 20 gram per mole. So if you will divide 167.5 by 20, then the answer is 8.375. What is that? 8.375 mole. Okay. So now the number of moles of oxygen and the number of moles of neon we have got it. Now we are going to calculate the mole fraction of oxygen and mole fraction of neon. What we are going to calculate? Mole fraction of oxygen and mole fraction of neon. So how we will calculate the mole fraction of oxygen? Mole fraction of oxygen is equal to how much? 2.21 by 2.21 plus 8.375. That is equal to 2.21 by 5, 7, 1, 8, 2, 3, 5 and 8 plus 2, 10. 10.585, right? Can you see this? Yes. So you will divide, then you will get the answer, that is 0.21. How much? 0.21. Now mole fraction of neon. Mole fraction of neon, that is equal to 8.375 by 2.21 plus 8.375, that is equal to 8.375 by 10.585. After dividing 8.375 by 10.585, you will get the value 0.79. 0.79. If you want to calculate that is it right or wrong, then you can just minus. Total is 1 minus 0.21. So the mole fraction of neon you will get the same answer, that is 0.7. Now you are going to calculate the partial pressure. What you are going to calculate? The partial pressure. So the partial pressure is equal to mole fraction into P total, mole partial pressure of first of all oxygen. So what is the oxygen partial pressure? Mole fraction is 0.21 and the P total is 25. Right? So 0.21 into 25, that is 5.25 bar pressure. 5.25 bar pressure. Similarly, the partial pressure of neon. Partial pressure of neon. that is equal to 0.79 into 25 bar pressure. So if you multiply 0.79 into 25, the answer is 19.75. 19.75 bar pressure. Got it? So this is the way that how you will calculate the mole fraction. After calculating the mole fraction, you have to multiply with the total pressure, that is 25. So remember, if you want to calculate the partial pressure, what do you want to calculate? Partial pressure. So the partial pressure will be mole fraction, that is x, this is, you can say mole fraction is x, into P total. What is this? Mole fraction. And mole fraction you know very well how to calculate, as right now we have calculated about this NT, and this is P total. It will be given. It was given in the question. So you can see here only the weight was given of oxygen and neon, and the partial P total was given. So first of all we have calculated the number of moles of oxygen and number of moles of neon. After getting the number of moles, we have calculated the mole fraction of oxygen and mole fraction of neon, and after then we have put into the formula partial pressure. So easily we can calculate the partial pressure. I hope all of you can understand this concept. It's very easy and it's very nice also. So what things today we have learned? The most important things we have learned, that is ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation means PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to nRT. After ideal gas equation, we have gone through the partial pressure also. That was Dalton's law, partial pressure, aqueous tension we have learned. We have also learned the combined gas law, P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. The things whatever we have learned must be inside our mind. Yes, these things we have learned. And whatever the numericals you are getting, similarly you can assume this type of numericals in your mind and you can solve this down. I hope it's very easy to solve. If you understand the concepts of question, then it's very easy. Hope all of you have enjoyed this video. That's all for today. Thank you. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your friends so they can be also benefited. That's all for today. Thank you. Thank you very much.